right, hello. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything on this channel, but I recently released a new song called Auburn, and I wanted to take a quick second and just talk through the recording and the writing process, because I really like this song a lot. I learned a lot when recording this one, and yeah, I just want to try it out. So, look at this. Ready for this? I don't think you're ready. Boom. Boom. Look at how professional this is. Not really. I'm using the Mac camera and microphone, so it can't be that good. Let's just listen to a little bit of this intro here. Actually, before I do that, so let's just take a look at what we have, right? So we have, you can't see it because my face is in the way, but we have the vocal melody line, which is this, vocal left, right, this first harmony left, right, this second harmony, center left, right. I have a whoa, whoa, whoa that comes in later. These na-na-nas that come at the end. Acoustic guitar, electric guitar. This grandma piano that's super adorable and fun. Listen to this. I love it. I think it's adorable. So we have this grandma piano, this synth lead that comes later into a solo. These beep-boops, this arpeggiator. Lighter shade organ, this organ that just goes through. I have a little brass section, bass, shaker, drum set, and then the stereo out. So let's just listen to a little bit of the beginning. So going into it, I knew I wanted this. We have one, we're in D flat. Oh wait, hold on, watch this. Bam, look at that. I knew I wanted to do this D flat, or maybe not D flat, but one, and then into this flat 7, or like, it's kind of like a minor 5, 7, if you want to call it that as well, but this flat 7 thing, and then 4 to G flat, and then we have this like, the bass just kind of moves up to the 8 flat, but we're not quite in 8 flat because we don't have that Tito. It mostly stays on this 4 chord, just puts the 5 in the bass. So we have something like that. Something like that. But that's obviously in the guitar and not in the piano part. So going back here, so yeah, I want to listen to it again. Listen for the grandma piano in there because I think it's adorable. So now we have our vocals. In this part, I went back and forth between how much harmony I wanted. Going in, I was like, I want this to be borderline a choral piece with instruments in the background. Like a 6-part harmony going on, and it was too much. It was way too much. So I dialed it back a little bit, and we just have the singular vocal line at the beginning. Let me put on shoes, I'm right behind. Don't mind the rain. It's a short walk back. It was hard in there anyways. So for this vocal line, we have a few different things here, like the main thing. And again, disclaimer, I am so a novice with music production, so sorry if my terminology is not always the best. So we have our de-esser here, we have our EQ, which might look atrocious to some people, but this is what works for me. This is a good time to say I would appreciate any feedback that you might have as far as my production. We have our EQ, we have a compressor. And we have our limiter. Then here we have our pre-delay, and then we have an exiter. exciter, exiter, whatever you call it, and like a little multiplier as well. The one thing that I heard from my good buddy Zach was that whenever he records things, he does it for guitar as well, but I'm not good enough of a guitarist to do it every time, but he records something through the center, through the left, or it gets mirrored for the camera, for the left and for the right. So I like to do that for each of my vocal lines to make it just sound a little more full. Here's this vocal line with just the center. Don't laugh at me, even if I deserve it. And here is with here's it with the left, right, and center. It just makes it sound a little bit more full. Don't laugh at me, even if I deserve it. So yeah, it just makes it sound a little bit more full. So I do that for all of the vocal parts and their harmonies. So here's all of the vocal parts and the harmonies together. Don't laugh at me, even if I deserve it. These are a lot of fun to figure out these harmonies because this flat 7 is in here. It complicates things a little bit. So we have don't laugh at me, which is the melody, and then we have don't laugh at me is the top one, and then I'm trying to think of what the other one was. Here, let's listen to it. Where is it? That's right. Okay, I remember. Don't laugh at me. There's that flat 7, or flat 7. Even if I deserve it. I can't play all the parts together at the same time. I'm not that good of a piano. But yeah. And that pretty much stays throughout the whole rest of the song. We have these harmonies going through the whole thing. While we're still talking about the vocals, let's look at this. So here's the second pre-chorus into the chorus, and this is where those whoa-whoa-whoas, like the little people, when Hozier does it, people call them outbursts. So I have a little outburst in here. So let's listen to this. I'll pick a few, you pick the rest. I promise that I'll do my best. When I look back, something's different. Something within has a shade of Auburn. Wind-blown hair, seat back, passenger side. Hormones in summertime. Since I found her. So I love this part of the song. Obviously, it's like the last chorus, so it's like big and grand. Going into it real quick, I knew I wanted this this little stop. One of my friends used to call it an Empire Liquor Mart stop. Where it's like when I look back, like just taking that beat of silence and then going back into it. Let's listen to that a little bit more, just because I love it. When I look back, something's different. And again, yeah, it's just so fun. I love it. And it happens in each and every one of these instruments. In every instrument, there's like this little break here. Uses the silence kind of as the beat one. This artist like Stephen Day does this in one of his songs. or a few of his songs, where like instead of having the kick drum on beat one, he just uses like a beat of silence, and it has just as much weight as using a kick drum would. So there's nothing there. So it's this weird kind of like paradox. It's so forceful, but there's nothing there. It's so cool. So talking about this little whoa 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 part, let's listen to this.
Something within me has a shade of Auburn. Wind-blown air. Oh, since I found her.
I remember a little vulnerable moment. I remember I would always miss this note here, the Auburn, oh, like moving up Auburn. And I eventually just gave up. I was like, I can't do it. It's going in the background. No one's gonna hear it anyways. So that's not great in this in this recording minutes because I gave up. Let's listen to it with the rest of the vocals. Also, while we're doing this, I am in my new apartment, which is super cool and fun and festive. Voila. I even have like a little light thing now. All right. Here's it with all of the voices.
When I look back, something is different. Something within me has a shade of Auburn. Wind-blown hair, seat back, passenger side. Warm moons in summertime. Since I found her.
And then we have this na-na-na part, which again, going into the writing process, I knew I wanted a na-na-na part just because I think they're super fun. So I presented at the PMEA state conference thing on songwriting, and someone had asked me how I songwrite during the semester just because you're so busy and you have so much to do. So like, how do you keep up with songwriting and make sure you're staying on top of that? And my answer to her was I don't. I really find it hard to write music during the semester just because I'm spending so much of my day learning about music and engaging in music, and then when I go home, the last thing I want to do is more music. So I really don't write over the semester, but while the semesters are going on, I kind of accumulate a lot of ideas. Like I said, I knew I wanted thick harmonies in this one. I knew I wanted to have this flat 7. I knew I wanted to have this Empire Liquor Mart stop thing here. I knew I wanted to have some na-na-nas at the end. I was inspired by Lizzie McAlpine's Spring into Summer, a great na-na-na section there at the end. Hey Jude, the king of songs with na-na-na sections. And I just think they're so fun and they're so summery. And with this song, when I was writing it, once I went into the chorus, I knew I didn't want to go back to a verse because the chorus was just so strong and just like, rah. And the last thing I wanted to do was take the energy down and go back into a verse, which is why we do first chorus. We have this interlude, but there's a solo that we'll get to in a minute. And then it goes right back into the pre-chorus, the chorus, and then the na-na-nas, because I knew I didn't want to go back to the verse because the energy was just, the vibes were too immaculate, and it would have been a disservice to kill the vibes and go back to a verse. So, alas, we're here with a na-na-na section. Let's listen to this.
Found her. na na
So we have these this little like echoey kind of ambient. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I think so. Right? Is that they're called? Yeah, ambient, whatever. Na-na-nas. Yeah. And I thought it was fun. Kind of just a way to bring everything back down. It's kind of like the end of the day, and you're just like, na 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 na. Well, we still have the grandma piano going on, because of course, why not? Nice. So that's pretty much all of the vocal stuff. This is by far the most involved kind of vocal tracks that I've had in recording. A lot of them, they've been maybe 3 or 4 tracks. This one is I'm too lazy to count, so you can count them, but it's that many. Moving on, we already kind of talked about the acoustic guitar, the electric a little bit. I just mostly had not the button I wanted. I mostly had the electric as kind of just this background, just kind of ethereal sound and thing. Let's listen to this just a little bit. It mostly does the same thing the whole time. It's super quiet. Kind of helps reinforce that, like the 5-5-1, with a bum bum bum. So yeah, there's that little electric guitar part, which was really not too much stuff. Grandma piano we talked about. The analog lead, this sick ass solo that I added that I love. I love it so much, I'm obsessed. Let's listen to a little bit of this solo section.
Found it.
So we have this solo section that I love it so much. This wow, especially the little ending note. I love it. And then what happens is pretty much throughout the whole rest of the song, it kind of does a little bit of stuff. The lead, the synth lead, below the chorus, here the chorus too, and then into the na-na-nas, it kind of takes more of a fun role. Let's listen to that a little bit. Try and listen for the synth thing.
Na 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 na.
So it's a great little addition, I think, that kind of just fills out this last section, just makes it a lot more interesting. We got the B-boops, everybody. The B-boops I love. It's just an arpeggiator, and I think it's adorable. Let's take a listen. It's very quiet, but... Isn't that adorable? Yeah, wrong button. There we go. At the end, you can hear it a lot more as, like, because it kind of goes through the whole thing, and you can barely hear it, if I'm being completely honest. it's very quiet, but they're there in the back, and it kind of just again adds a little bit more fun stuff. We have this organ. I love putting an organ in my songs. There's a one on here. Where is it? Hold on, I'll find it. There's an organ on here called the gamer organ, and it's a big joke with some of my friends that I always put the gamer organ in a song, and I actually decided not to this time. Where's the gamer organ? Yes, gamer's organ. Heck yeah. Maybe I'll share that another day. But I decided not to do it in this song, and I have this organ sound instead that kind of just helps fill out the chords a little bit, adds a little bit more mid voices. And it's mostly just that forever. So let's listen to that in context with the rest of the tracks. Alright, so yeah, so there's our little organ thing. Similarly to the organ, I added a brass section into the later chorus just because I feel like it needed more oomph. And also it adds a little bit more like higher frequencies. Everything was just like so warm and kind of gooey in this last chorus. And I wanted something with a little more bite, so I added this brass section that I really like. I forgot about the weird cutoffs. The cutoff of each of those chords is so strange, but I had to do that or else it would like keep coming through and then voices would just drop out. It was kind of weird. I didn't really know why. Maybe someone out there does, but it was weird. So I had to do this super awkward, super cheesy cutoff on each of those chords, but in the background you can barely hear it. So let's listen to it in context with the rest of the tracks.
Windblown head, seat back, passenger side. Warm rooms in summertime. Since I found her.
Yeah, so again, kind of similarly to the organ, it's not super loud. It just kind of sits in the back. When I'm in my car, though, I can really hear the brass, but it kind of just sits in the back and helps round out the chords. And again, the brass, I just wanted something with a little bit like brighter of a tone to kind of counteract everything else going on. We have this bass line going on. It's pretty much the same thing over and over and over again. Listen a little bit of this. The only interesting thing that's going on is this boom, 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 boom. And that happens a few times. Boom, 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 boom. Let's listen to it in context with everything else.
When I look back, something's different. Something offends me. Has a shade of Auburn.
It's not super loud. Again, when I was in the car, though, it just was like bass boosting. So, and with headphones on, it's a little bit boostier too. So it's not super loud here. Got a shaker going on, pretty self-explanatory. All of these, I did it. I don't like for the instruments, I don't like recording 4 bars of it or whatever and then looping it. I really don't like doing that. So I record everything in like real time and in its entirety. Even these drums here, which we'll get to in a second. But the shaker is the only exception. I was not about to stand there and shake this for however long. So, props to all the percussionists out there who will do that. But here's the shaker in all its glory. The loop isn't perfect, but it gets the job done. We don't have to listen to it with the shaker. And then the drums, I really had a fun time playing around with. This is, again, the most kind of, oh my god, look at all those high velocity notes. The drums are, what I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, this is also like kind of the most complex drum part that I've ever had in a song before. Let's just listen to it alone for a little bit. I remember when I was recording it and doing quantize and stuff, I couldn't get it for like kind of the swing. I wanted the boom, 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 boom. I couldn't get it like the swing, and the quantize really struggled with this compound meter. So I had to go through and hand move everything to where I wanted it. That's a little. And again, I guess this is a good learning lesson, but this is why that's tricky, because here it's right, this one is a little too, this should be right on the bar line, but it's a little bit ahead. Which, when you're listening to it, most people aren't going to recognize, so it's fine. But now I'm like, I missed that one. But yeah, it mostly does that for a little bit. Once we get into the chorus, it switches to like a ride cymbal instead of the hi-hats. And a fun fill I forgot about. Here we go. The drum set is definitely, of the instruments that are on here, the drum set is definitely the one that I'm least proficient in. So a lot of these, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple beat the whole time. I have a few fills, but they're very simple. This boom, 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 boom. There is a fill though that I do love. That where is it? Is it here? Maybe it's here. Yeah, I think this is it. So we have this. It comes back later, I believe. And I think, yeah, just do it again, like right before the nanas. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the drums. Let's listen to everything just one more time all together for good time's sake. We'll start from the pre-chorus. Actually, we'll start from here because I want to hear the solo.
That I'll do my best. When I look back, something's different. Something within me has a shade of Auburn. Summertime, since I found her. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na.
So that's basically it. One more thing I want to quick talk about was this limiter here. Like I said, I recorded everything way too loud. So I was really bringing things back. And at the end of the day, when I was done and things were peaking and I was really struggling, when I went to bounce the project, boom, boom, bam. When I went to bounce the project and I had it as like a wave file, it was so quiet. When I am listening to music in my car, usually it's at like volume level like 13 or 14. To have it at like a pretty normal volume, I had to turn my car up to like 22, which was way too quiet. So I was fighting demons trying to figure out why was this so quiet. And some of you will probably already know the answer to this and will know why, but for those of you who didn't know, and maybe this knowledge might come in handy for the future if you're recording or something, for a beginner, this is what was going on, right? So when these tracks are going on and when they're going in like these louder parts and kind of like over here, these louder parts, and if it peaks, what it's doing is that when you bounce it, and this normalization, once this is on, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be completely wrong in the information that I'm about to tell you, but when the normalization is on, it takes the highest point in your song. So when whatever track, once it gets to the highest level, volume level, it takes note of that and it brings it down to like 0 decibels or something like that, or whatever the normal volume is for recorded music. So what it was doing is, because my tracks were so loud, it was taking the loudest part and moving it down to like a normal level, which brought everything else down and made it a lot quieter. So that was kind of the reason why I was struggling with getting this to be a good volume for like releasing it onto streaming services and stuff. So I really played a lot with normalization off, but then you could really hear the stuff peaking and it would like get all fuzzy and bad. Overload protection only, which helped a good bit. It pretty much left everything. It didn't change the volume of anything. It just brought it down, I believe, once it's like getting dangerously loud and starts peaking and stuff. I think that's what that means. And then on, which is basically what I just described as, it takes the loudest part of the track, moves it down to a normal level, and it moves everything else down as well, so that it doesn't mess with the levels between tracks. It just messes with the overall level of the whole bounce. So I was really struggling with that, and the way I had to fix it was go through and adding all of these limiters onto the tracks, so that nothing would be peaking and getting too much. I mean, a compressor does that a little bit, but I think a limiter is a little bit more like brick wall, like, nope, you're not going over this volume level. So I have a limiter here on this, and watch how much this limiter is working towards like in this last chorus when it gets really loud.
When I look back, something is different. Something offends me.
So I think I fixed it, and so now like this reduction level here, when it like the bar goes down, that's showing you how much it's like stopping the volume from getting too high. I fixed it a little bit, so it's not working as hard as it used to be, but like when it was like pretty much every time the vocals would come in, the bar would be like somewhere around here and going up and down and stuff, and it was pretty crazy. That I finally figured out kind of helped my problem. Next time I know not to record everything so loud, and to make sure things aren't peaking when I'm recording them, because that was really what came in and bit me in the behind later down the road. I think that's basically it. I think I talked about everything I wanted to. I love this song. I think this is, one of the best ones that I've done. I'm really proud of it, and not only just for the writing aspect, but just for the production value and kind of this level of production that I haven't been at before, and I'm getting better. There's still a lot to learn, obviously, a lot that I will keep in mind when recording the next one, but for now, I'm happy with how it came out. Is it perfect? No, but is anything in life, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or feedback or anything for me from stuff you saw, for those of you who actually, went to school for this stuff and know much more about it than I do, feel free to let me know and comment it. Good to post something on YouTube, and it's been forever. If you want more stuff like this, I can go through my other songs as well, but I will let you know that the track list and stuff for that is a lot less interesting than this one is. So yeah, let me know. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Hopefully talk to you guys soon. Go listen to Auburn. Thank you. I'll link it down below in the description as well. But all right, have a beautiful day. Thank you. Appreciate you.